Oh, it's hot out here. It's like 95 degrees. I'm right here doing some testing today, ghosting cars. And I've been really excited about wanting to do this. I finally got some free time to do it, so let me show you what I'm doing. So we're back on the TDI today, working on some more cooling mods because these cars just run really hot under the hood. You can see here we got a nice pile of parts. I started off with the weather stripping, then I took the windshield cowl off, then I moved next to the hood hinges, covers, I guess, I don't know what you call those. That is a little, I don't know what this is. It goes in front of the AC box, some kind of deflector. And then we took this big metal piece off, and actually it's plastic, it's pretty flimsy. Don't need it. It's not like a shock tower or anything like that. But basically, without cutting this car up, keeping it stock looking, I'm trying to get more airflow going through it. And it's got a pretty small frontal area. This grill doesn't take up a lot of air, in my opinion. You know, maybe at 70 it does, but you know, it's only pulling cold air like in this little spot right here, and that's it. So we can work on that, but instead of cutting out any vents in the hood, what I've been playing with is opening up the back of the hood. And we started off taking the weather strip off, that little piece over there, and you could barely slide a piece of cardboard through it, mainly on this side. That side over there was still pretty closed up. Then we took the window cowl, that big plastic piece on there, off, and that opened it quite a bit. You could probably fit maybe 2 fingers on this side, and you know, it kind of got smaller over there. Took the hood hinge covers off, and you know, that opened up some gaps in there on the side, which is good. And finally took that big old piece off there in the middle, and that really opened things up. Now, would I run it like this all the time? I don't know, probably not. It's not a race car, you know. This is a project car that I'm trying to keep stock, or it can be easily converted back to stock while getting whatever gains I can get, performance or efficiency, whatever. But you can see it's pretty bare looking in there. What I don't like about taking all this off is your AC is sucking up hot engine air. I don't know if it was doing that before. It did have that little reflector piece, so maybe it was sucking it off for like here. Now it's going to be sucking in hot air, which is going to make your cold air warmer, which we don't want. So we'll play around with that, do some testing, and see if it makes a difference. It's also a good time to clean it out because mine was full of leaves. You do have your ECM here. At least I think it's an ECM, unless it's some kind of transmission control unit. I don't know. But that's pretty much out of the way. I'm looking for like a hard rain if it would get in there and mess things up. It wasn't really protected before. Everything was just kind of like loosely covering it, so it wasn't sealed or anything. And I'm pretty sure they come sealed already, as long as you don't, you know, submerge them. Yeah, so we got that going on. We're going to get you some numbers here in a minute. Previously we did the breather tube dump, and we added something new today. This is my favorite thing to do. I'm all about using things that are free, that just cost you time for very little money, and any little effort, you know, it adds up. It really does. You don't have to go buy a special exhaust strap. Let me show you. This is just plain old kitchen foil. I don't like the heavy duty stuff. I just use the regular stuff. Seems to work better, I think, in my opinion. Round pipes are harder to do, in my opinion, versus like an exhaust manifold that's cast iron. You can really tuck it in there and pack it, and it'll keep it nice and hot. And you know, some of the advantages of that are when you have a hotter exhaust manifold, things are going to spool up faster. When you have faster spool, you're going to get better efficiency out of the turbo. You could decrease your spool times by 50, 100, 200 RPM. I know my Cummins, I think it was the 5.9 I had 2 different 5.9s, but I think it was one of the 5.9s. It really decreased the spool time a lot. So you can see here I got this stainless 2.5-inch downpipe. I just wrapped it around there and then put these stainless steel zip ties on there. And believe it or not, that'll hold. I mean, it's not a perfect holding job. With these zip ties, they're not that great. But depending on how much airflow is through here, that'll last a long time. And you can even pressure wash it and all kinds of stuff. The benefits of this versus a wrap is the wrap's going to keep it a little cooler in the bay because it's, I don't want to say sealed, but it's more sealed than this. This is loose and it breathes. I like this better. One, because it's like $2 a box. And two, you're not trapping all the heat in the exhaust pipe. You know, when you see those exhaust pipes that are rotted out, that's just too much heat in the pipe, and we don't want that. I don't need a pipe degrading on me. Like, this is my daily, you know. That's not a race car, but this right here will work perfect. Having a loose foil like that makes like a little air gap, you know, so you got a little tiny gap between the pipe and the foil, and that kind of helps maintain that temperature from going too high, and you know, obviously you get the benefits of cooling around. But I didn't go all the way down. I just went maybe a foot and a half long. And this should help keep this whole area up here nice and cool. Not a whole lot, but it should help. If I went all the way down, that'd probably been a lot better for like sitting in traffic where the heat's gonna rise up. We really want to keep all the heat out of here as we can. But yeah, if you've never done it before, give it a shot. If you don't like it, I mean, it'll either fall off or you just take it right off. It's not a big deal. And these zip ties, I'll show you. You can buy these on eBay. These zip ties you can buy on eBay. Not very expensive. I used them on my header wrap project. They worked out okay. They don't have like a clicking system. They're just kind of like friction. So might be improvement if you got one with like little notches or something in it. But yeah, let's start out with that. I'll get you some numbers here in a second, and then we're gonna move on probably to our water injection, and that's gonna be used to help clean out the engine because, like I said before, I think I got an oily turbo, clogged up valves, and oil intercooler. Pardon me, I just had a tooth pulled about 30 minutes ago and I can't even speak. But anywho, let's get going. Alright, so I just pulled in. These are my first impressions after removing everything from the windshield. I can touch stuff, but it's still hot. I know it's not very scientific, but to be honest, I really don't want to put everything back on with the temp gun and then test it piece by piece. I think it helped a little bit. The turbo area, I can actually get my hand near the pipe. I can actually touch it without it like taking my fingerprints off. So I think it's kind of helping the back area, but the front area, I think it's just getting blasted by the radiator. You know, you got the condenser and the intercooler, and I think it's just clogged up. This is a heat-soaked area. I think it'd be really nice to have. A vent on here, maybe like an old Lancer or a Evo. You know, kind of here in the middle, and let that suck out the front heat, and then have the back open to like really get it going. But I'm not gonna do that for now. I mean, I guess you could cut that out, but I'm not gonna do that. I'll wait till the hood gets scratched up some more. So I hope this video helps you guys out. Nice little easy mods to do. I gotta put the wipers back on, so I'm probably gonna compromise and go with probably just the plastic cowl, putting that back on. I want it to appear stock, like I said, and I also want the gains. So I think the plastic cowl below the wipers is probably gonna be the way to go. And I might even open that up some. Perhaps in the future I'll try to get some numbers. It's kind of hard to get numbers externally. You know, as soon as you turn the car off, you're gonna get heat soak, and without any airflow on it, the heat from the inside of the engine is gonna come out to the outside. So you have to be really quick about it, and it's not really that accurate. So I kind of like to do the hand test. I would like to have a nice perometer for EGTs and a way to measure IATs. If I dig out my scanner, I got it packed up, it might show IATs in the future. I might do that. But I did order the water injection parts, so stay tuned for that. It's going to be a pretty cool little custom job with no pumps, no mechanical parts. It's all going to be driven off vacuum. So stay tuned for that. I think it's going to change things, the way how water injection is done by simplifying it. And yeah, stay tuned.